Two-man game, TMG, get the news fast, AMG, game of two boxes. Name two boxers that hit as hard as this. Yeah, we're cutting to the truth, no, there ain't no narrative. Eyes up on the cup this year, hear the stadium erupt this year. For my team, TMG.
Of the Two-Man Game Podcast.
TMG! You know what time it is, you know what the vibes are, you know it is, let's get it!
It's a duo podcast today. No guess.
Back to basic, no guess. It's been a hell of a week.
You know what, me and Melo, we're gonna argue then.
You know,
every time it's a two-man episode, he argued with me, so.
I just thinks he could come up with these outrageous, outlandish points. He thinks he
can outlandish points.
Talking crap all the time, but you know,
if it is down to anything today, we can talk about one of Melo's most outrageous shouts ever about a certain Norwegian. What you got to say about the guy, fam? What you got to say about the Viking?
The Viking, I like that nickname. The Vikings, Norwegian, the Scandinavian, Norway, Sweden, Denmark. What's the one? It's four.
Norway, Sweden, Denmark,
and
I don't know. Finland's not. Is Finland?
So you can search up your phone.
Yeah, I'll do the Scandinavian.
I've done Viking.
You should. You don't know what they did.
Norway, Sweden, Denmark. I believe it's Finland. But yeah,
we can check that.
I mean the Viking, the King Viking.
It is Finland. Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. I mean that assist he gave to Foden is showing that he can do the things to an extent that I've questioned. Not say he couldn't do it. It was a question mark. He needed to improve. Hopefully Pep could improve him. The intricate stuff. Even got two assists to Foden. Yeah, two of them. The one the reverse pass and a cross. Top quality stuff. I mean, United were open all over the place, but he done it, and he's if he could do that, then fair enough. He could get all the goals which he's doing, and he can still. And that means in the high leverage games, at the highest moments, which obviously United is a massive game, one of their biggest games. But once they went like 3-4 up, the pressure was good. But I talk about pressure moments where it's tight game, Champions League semi-finals, Premier League games that really matter, that are close. Then yeah, but if he can do that, then fair enough. The sky's the limit for this guy, and yeah. I said,
be surprised if he struggles. That's what the guy said.
I said, don't be surprised if he doesn't do as well as you guys. If he doesn't do as great as you guys think it's good.
He's doing better than expectations. 17 goals in all comps, and it's just October.
17 goals in like what, 11 or 12 games?
Yeah.
He's got like what? How many Premier League goals? 13, 14?
Something ridiculous.
I mean,
if fantasy, if you're not captaining him, you're losing out.
I forgot to change my team. Quick story. I was coaching, and the coach session was intense. Because my boys got slapped last week, 10-2. I wasn't there, but I was glad I wasn't there. I wish I was, because I had to give him a dressing down on a Wednesday and a Saturday.
Why weren't you there?
You tell me, Mr. Big Boy.
Oh, yeah, wait, fam. That was...
Hey.
I thought you were flying out in the morning. I was tired, fam. That took a lot of energy out.
Unless we left till like 8 o'clock, I was going to make that game. But flipping, yeah, so gave him a dressing down, and I remember like 10 minutes ago, like 10:50, oh, snap, I need to do my team. And the session was too intense. Looking at my phone, and I remember this week I wanted to make 2 or 3 changes and bring like guys like De Bruyne and stuff like that.
If you brought them in, you'd have...
Yeah, and I was like, oh damn, I couldn't do it. I had to focus on the session. So yeah,
you lost out on some crucial points.
So they gave it that city guy Trent.
Well, that's a guy, fam. We need to have a quick dialogue on him. Still, we need to have a quick dialogue.
He's been an embarrassment.
After you finish this, so how many goals do you predict Haaland scoring? Because some guys are saying he might break Messi's league goal scoring record.
50.
Yeah, 50 plus.
What? Well, Messi, is that from what record is that?
Is it league goals in? I think it's goals in a season.
Is that league goal record?
I think it's a league goal record.
It might be actually. Yeah, I think he'll get. If he doesn't get over 30, this rate stays fit. Like I said that before, that'll be disappointing.
He's gonna get 30 a maximum because he's never going to the World Cup.
I think he should get get 38. Let me write it down.
Go goal again.
I think get 38.
Goal again.
He has to aggress to the mean. I'm sorry.
He's gonna aggress to the mean and have a goal again. I just think City create too many chances. The only way he won't excel past that point is because rotation and injuries. That's the only way.
You never know. Injuries.
And the injuries is probably the biggest thing because Haaland does miss a lot of games. If you look back at his stats for Dortmund, he did miss a lot of games. But when he does play, he normally does score. And the types of goals that Haaland does score is not like I don't anticipate him having a drop because he doesn't score goals which are he doesn't score complicated goals.
Simple goals.
Yeah, there's a lot of simple tap-ins, and he scored his first header today actually. He scored a lot of tap-ins. He gets in the box. His game is predicated on movement and desire. And unless his desire starts to wane, that's the only way he's going to start missing, having those chances.
So I expect, like I said, regressive. I expect the defenders to adapt him, and when they start stuffing up those chances, that's when potential for drought could come. But I mean, he's got the desire, he's got the speed and the power to match. I've seen one thing having desire, like I'll be clever with moving guys like an older Shearer, a Raul, a Fowler. Those guys, they smart movement. Van Nistelrooy, desire, but those guys didn't have the pace and the power to match. This guy has the smarts and the movement and the desire, and he's quick as hell, strong as hell. So even if he's, in the wrong position, he can still make up for it. And like I said, if you have the desire in the right position, you're only going to extend the gap. Guys won't catch up to you. The gap will be increasing. So, he's always going to get opportunities. Ideally, theoretically speaking, but like I said, I do expect Premier League defenders to adapt to him somewhat. Whether or not, obviously, he's more than a goal a game. That means he's only going to score 1 goal a game, which at this point will seem quote-unquote disappointing, which sounds ridiculous and ludicrous to say. But we'll see.
King Kevin, man. And he's got Kevin there.
Oh, yeah, that's something. If Henry goes down, then...
Yeah, that's it. It will lose a bit of supply, but I think City have more than enough.
They have more than enough. They have guys to slip balls into him, but what Kevin does is exceptional across one of the best crosses of the ball in the world.
But City play much more fluid football without him.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
They basically Centurion. People forget they wasn't very local in that Centurion season. It was a Bernardo Silva thing.
But the Bernardo show.
And like City can play so many different ways when they change it. Like they're so interchangeable.
Yeah.
That's where Arsenal's trying to get to, and you're starting to see Arsenal kind of pick up some of the Pep traits, and they're starting to play the kind of football. So, when you can play that interchangeable kind of Pep way, it it's like there's loads of variables that can go in and you can still perform to that level. Like they chop and change players all the time. Like so now you don't even know what guys Pep's gonna play. They even did this without Rodri, and they look good, man. For Man United, on the other hand, what do you think about their performance?
They regressed to their mean. Mm-hmm. They had a good 4-game run. Obviously, they beat Arsenal. Not playing their best, but they got a result. But they know how to play Arsenal. It's very easy. It's true. And then they just capitulated. Literally capitulated. Man City just took them to task. Too many open gaps. As much as Eriksen's been playing well, I'm a big admirer of Eriksen and deserved the praise he's been recently. He got not found out, but he got exposed today. Therefore, defensively speaking, at least, at least 2 of the goals were to do with him. Not tracking back on Haaland. I can't remember the other, but there's another one mistake. Foden, yeah. They've done more last few games, so this won't be hopefully from their side of things. It won't dent confidence too much, but they will just off it. At the end of the day, they won a match to see, like quality wise.
I think midfield wise, McTominay close hiding as usual, and people give him a lot of plaudits. But in any game where they overload that area, man, that guy is a ghosty man. He's not even there. Like I didn't even know he was playing. He's a ghostly guy. Like I don't even understand the respect he gets. Maybe against Arsenal because he can body up Dons like Odegaard. Then they respect him.
He puts himself about.
In those guys where you have to actually get a foot on the ball and actually kind of dictate the game, just not the kind of guy. And I think what Man United in stage of transition, they're trying to get the players they need. I'm really, really worried about their wingers though. Sancho and Anthony, they're too slow. I think they're too slow. I don't know how that really works in the Prem. Like I don't see them as one-on-one, like they don't one-on-one kind of demons kind of players. They're good, intricate players. So I'm really just trying to figure out what Ten Hag wants. Is he just gonna have one outlet of pace up top with a kind of Rashford, or is it gonna be possession of pace?
Anthony's got a cracking goal.
He did.
The guy's got good technique. Anthony's his left foot is solid. Sancho's right foot is not as solid, like in terms of striking the ball. But those guys, like I said, even if they're not quick, you got to be a willing runner. also the best example. Tottenham are not quick, willing runner. Sterling, he's quick, but you have to be a willing runner. You have to be willing to run in behind. You can't just always want to feet because you're gonna become unpredictable. Guys are gonna double up on you. They're gonna force you back. You've got to be willing runner. One thing Arsenal do have, Saka and Martinelli, they're willing runners. They come to feet. They come in behind. The best wingers, unless you're even Messi at his best, could willing to run in behind. Neymar is at his best, willing to run in behind. And that's them guys at a different level technically than Anthony and Sancho. You got to have dimension to the game. You got to be a willing runner. You got to stretch the pitch. If you don't stretch the pitch, then it's going to make your margin for error lots less. So, I mean, that's an issue for them. I mean, Rashford wasn't on it. Was off it. Varane, big question mark over Rafael Varane.
Him and Martinez, kind of shoddy. Just shoddy, isn't it? It's just shoddy work. I guess, Man City is the top echelon of team you're going to face.
Yeah.
And that's the marker that you need to put yourself against. And when you see Man City, you know how far away you are. And that's where Man United is. Man United are this far away. They're so far away. Their 6-3 scoreline is flattering. They're far away from where they need to be. And hopefully Ten Hag kind of sees that, okay, this is what Man City's on and this is the adaptation they need to do. Yeah. And then over time they will reach that. But, they've had a good 4 games. There's a games are coming thick and fast. I'm sure they will adapt to what's happening and,
Okay,
they'll be fine. I actually think Man United are in a better position than the next team we're going to talk about, Liverpool. I actually prefer their prospects over Liverpool.
But yeah, that's true. But good question marks around. He's not, since he's come, he's been disappointing. But yeah, Liverpool, your thoughts?
Hey, bro. They just hit the lifespan of a team, man. Team lifespan is never as long as you think.
That's true.
If you don't refresh, you don't bring in new impetus, you don't bring in new players, you die.
They tried to. They brought in Jota, Diaz, Nunez, Thiago.
See the Man City team that Pep first won his title with, and the Man City team now.
We're talking about the spine, but then again, it's easy for them to say because those guys are pushed on naturally at old age, in necessitated the fact they move on. With Liverpool, like Van Dijk's still 30, 31. Henderson probably needs to get moved on, but he's still in his early 30s.
Milner's still there.
Milner is not in the core. Salah's at 29, 30. Firmino's getting moved on. So that old core of the team, like Trent and Robertson are still, Trent's at 23, Robertson's at 26, 27, 28. They're still a good age. But, I mean, people just, they need more wrinkles to their game. Which they try to do by bringing Thiago, to be fair, to dominate the ball more. But that teams have figured them out. They've really figured out their weak points. Van Dijk is not nowhere near his best. And
that's your guy, man.
Yeah, he's my guy.
And they're beating him. Everyone is beating him. Trossard even gave him something there. They gave it to him. Whacked it past him. He doesn't want to engage. He's just so passive.
He made a mistake with the final goal. Didn't clear the ball properly. I mean, also has Trent, another guy that I'm very fond of. Defensively, he's a nightmare. I will say defensively. Even though I was very fond of him, I expect him defensively to pick up. I just don't understand how he's not improved defensively. Like, there's individual training schedules they have. Are they not practicing?
He doesn't have desire to defend.
Well, they need to coach him.
It doesn't even matter about technique. There's a point where it's not about technique. It's about the desire to.
Sorry, my laptop turned off.
You want to pause the video?
Oh, the laptop was dead.
Did you pause the video? Been disappointed, but Liverpool, your thoughts?
Hey, bro, they just hit the lifespan of a team. Team lifespan is never as long as you think. If you don't refresh, you don't bring in new impetus, you don't bring in new players.
But yeah, so
you die.
With Henderson, those type of guys, Salah, they tried to refresh it there with like Diaz replacing Mane essentially and Jota and Nunez. But more importantly, it's just their style of play. They don't really have another wrinkle to their game. They try to do that, I guess, with Thiago, but they're still playing a high intensity rock and roll football, and it's been well documented, especially now that Liverpool are struggling with Dortmund after like 8 or so seasons. They were burnt out. The players were burnt out, and then they started to. They had one season where they finished at mid-table, then or something like that, and it was gone. If you can't, like I said, in the end, possession football rules. In the end, if you're gonna play a possession game, based game, obviously you need to press. But you know, even when you have the ball, you can relax, you can breathe. You're not gonna drain your legs. You're gonna be. That's why Man City's teams, they eventually, well, not essentially do last longer. Or these Man City teams under Pep, they essentially do last longer. They may what's it called? They may die in a different way. Maybe Pep maybe be too intense, like mentally and in training, but in terms of the physically, it can do too much.
Yeah, with Pep though, it doesn't seem like there is a burnout yet, which is surprising because of the character that Pep seems to be. But I feel like with Pep, he kind of knows that there's different styles and different horses for courses, and I kind of attached himself to certain players. And now, also with Pep, there is this aura, you know that Man United had that aura with Sir Alex where you go there, you already feel like he's lost.
Yeah.
And teams haven't kind of taken that invincibility away from them. Like, teams go to Man City already expecting to lose. Whereas with Liverpool now, teams have like punctured the armour where it's like, oh, I can go to Liverpool and I want to go toe to toe with them. And a lot of the game is mental when it comes to that, where it's like, when you go to a place, it's like, no, I don't even care about going to Anfield. Oh, I just see the red shirt of Liverpool. I'm going there. We're battling 1-for-1. Guys are calling them. Guys are saying this in the media. Players hear this, and they're going at these players. Additionally, when you're talking about the style of play, I think Klopp tried to change the style of play by buying Darwin.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it's worked at the moment. Darwin's the kind of player you have to adapt to, and they're not really adapting to it. And I think he needs time and he needs goals.
Yeah.
Goals, he was always in it. It's kind of like that kind of like medicine. If he gets those goals in, if he starts like banging them in on a consistent level, then you'd even forget about all these problems. As for Liverpool now, but they concede a lot of goals, man.
Yeah, I mean, you see Liverpool. I mean, my guy George, hopefully getting on the pub very soon. He was looking upset still. He's looking very
It's
upset.
tough, man. It's tough because of where Liverpool were and where they are now. It's tough.
Yeah, they used to have the aura, but like I said, they realised. I would say this, as much as I rate Trent defensively as a liability, it has improved, and teams have really, they're taking to another level the way they're really hunting him down. And if we have a weak link that can be exposed so readily and so consistently, it's alarming. It's alarming. And even these days, he's not really getting assists, not really influencing the play that much. He's just getting exposed.
So much
And he's not going to, and as Ray, I'll be shocked if he gets in the England team, and he probably shouldn't. Well, not probably shouldn't get linked to in this form. Reece James, looking like is the better player. Kyle Walker's obviously the better player. Trippier, but Trippier's looking playing better, I guess. So yeah.
I'll take Trippier right now. Trippier, at least no one's ISOing Trippier like that though. It's like Trent. Do you know what? Also, I don't think Trent is not as bad as you think he is defensively. He's bad, but guess what happens when you start showing chinks in your armor? People start highlighting your mistakes more and more and more. And therefore, it's even getting worse. And now players are going to capitalize on it more and more. There's a lot of players that are just as bad as Trent defensively, but they're not going to ISO him.
I mean, he got even when he was doing his thing, like at the top of his game, it's all highlighted.
But then, when he was doing this thing at the top of the game, you know he could punish you to go in the other way.
Yeah, but his defensive rate's got highlighted. It's got highlighted even more because he's getting exposed a lot more. And more. Quite a few people said it. I know Frank Leboeuf said it. Leboeuf said it. Not Leboeuf. He said that, yeah, offensively amazing. Defensively, he's a championship level defender.
He's not a good defender. Like, it's not. He doesn't have the desire. He doesn't have
Do you
the
know how
want. He doesn't
embarrassing
have
it is
the
to be
will.
called a championship level defender when people consider you world class?
He doesn't have the. He doesn't have the. He doesn't have the will, man. It's a will. That's a mental. Something that you always talk about. Sometimes some players don't have that, and that.
But it's pride. Like me, I'm more a defensive player, more offensive than defensive. But when people go past me, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe.
He doesn't have the pride, and also previously when guys used to go past him, they were meeting Van Dijk, they were meeting Matic, they were meeting Joe Gomez, prime like players like that. So it didn't really matter.
Like for example, I'll take it back to the cage or when you're playing whatever. When someone duppies you, you're getting buoyed. Him, he gets duppied. He's like, oh, whatever, man. They're gonna do with it. It's on his backside. Like this social media era. I know he's feeling this. The clips are getting spun.
He's getting spun, bro. Mitama just ISO'd him, bro. He just cooked him on that side. Hey man, biting now, guys. It's what it is, fun. Full for him. Hopefully, hopefully he gets that desire, he gets that will, he gets that want. But it's not easy, man. It's one thing to train and do something, but another thing to have it in your heart. That the dog, the desire, the want. Like they've been trying to get it out of Martial for years, still hasn't got it, man.
It's true. But yeah.